Friday, July 7th. You be very carefully. The basics in the bond market are money races to bonds for safety. When there's ugly stuff happening, when the economy's falling apart, when the stock market's falling apart, when we're about to go to a war with North Korea, and whatever it is, then money slashes to bonds for safety. As the money arrives, it pushes prices up and yields down. So everybody in the bond market is known as a ghoul, to include yours truly. We wake up every morning looking for bad news, because it means rates are going to go down or will stay down. And as the link to copy says this week, there isn't any bad news. I mean, I hate to break it to everybody, but we got a jobs report for June this morning, and 222,000 new jobs. That's about a third more than forecast. Prior 2 months are revised up. First week of every month, we get other flash reports from the immediately prior month. There's an outfit called the Institute for Supply Management, which is actually the professional organization of purchasing managers. They have polled themselves for almost 50 years in the last week of every month. And their results have been very predictive. Purchasing managers are supposed to sense the leading edge of demand or the absence of demand for inventory, for goods, and even now for services. And both reports came in better than the forecast, and the forecast was already high. The U.S. economy is doing fine. It isn't anywhere near 3 or 4% growth, but it's doing fine. So the Fed's going to continue to raise its rate, but at such a shallow slope that there's nothing to worry about. At the moment, there's no chance that the Fed is going to overdo its work and create a recession, which is the bond market's dream of Christmas. And so here I am saying no bad news, and everybody knows we're about to go to war with North Korea. No, we're not. Defense Secretary Mattis, General Mattis, is a smart, calm guy who knows and understands as much about war as anybody. And he isn't about to let us do something dumb, no matter who's in the White House, no matter which party. And Mattis said very quietly yesterday that the new missile launch by North Korea does not put us any closer to war than we were before. And there are good reasons for it. The North Koreans are going to discover the same thing that everybody else has, that no matter how many nuclear weapons you have, the more you have, the less chance you can use one. I mean, you've got them, and they're terribly expensive. You have to protect them and store them and develop them. Same thing with missiles, but the less chance that you're going to do something cowboy with anything. The main issue with North Korea is China, but that's a long-running affair. China's growth and rise to soon the world's largest economy is inevitable. Conflict is inevitable, but they're a very conservative society. They don't have in mind, trying to pick a war with somebody anytime soon. The old people in China have first-hand knowledge of what war is and does. They're in no hurry. There's nothing to worry about. And if there's nothing to worry about, then rates are going to tend to trickle upward. So there. Good weekend.